Good afternoon. Welcome to Two Beards Podcast, where we are drinking
beer.
There was a time where I was like, I don't want to, drink beer I don't like. And I just have a feeling.
What gives you that feeling? Is it the lies and deception that this fucking company gives us every time?
Okay, so we're drinking Chasin Freshies from Deschutes.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, Nick and I are not big fans of Deschutes, their beer, and the fact that they have a great artist on their team, and that's the only good thing about them.
Yeah, pretty accurate though.
Can art's beautiful and everything, but man, does their beer suck ass.
It's just very, very sub-mediocre.
So we're drinking their Fresh Hop.
Wasn't there a beer by them recently that we were actually like, this is surprisingly pretty good?
I don't know, probably.
Because isn't this the second Deschutes Fresh Hop we've had?
I don't know.
I think it was, and the first Fresh Hop was actually not that bad, if I'm remembering correctly.
But this beer, okay, on their website, they first say that the hops that they use are I'm not German, so I don't know how to pronounce these things, but Bitburger Signature Siegelhopfen and German Callista hops. And they don't say anything else, but that's not the whole story. They actually pair that with American pale varieties of Triumph and non-German Callista hops as wet hops. So it's strange, and I don't know why you would do, like, I don't understand the, like, granted, I don't think fresh hop season is, strictly an American thing.
Right.
But when you talk about, like, fresh hop season in the Americas, you are typically going a different beer path than, like, German style beer.
Yeah, it's not exclusive. Fresh hop season is not exclusive to IPAs, but it certainly suits them very well, and other styles, it gets a little funky.
Well, when I think of, like, fresh hop, when I think of, like, German style beer, and there's lighter style German beers that I'm, like, thinking of, or you could even go the mead direction.
Yeah,
I typically think of, like, less about, like, particular hop varietals and more of, like, introduction of, like, wild yeast and wild bittering things. Like, you don't have to just use hops to bitter a beer. So I go down that route. But in the Americas, when we talk about fresh hop, usually it's about that specific hop varietal.
Right.
And usually it's featured in a pale ale or an IPA, a more hoppy beer.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. Is, like, a lot of the German styles aren't very hoppy.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too. Like, we've had, even here, like, we've had some breweries, like, some fresh hop beer that was like,
We've done fresh hop pilsners on the podcast.
Yeah, fresh hop pilsners. We've had, like, a weird, like, Vienna lager, and it just doesn't sparkle like it does in a pale ale or IPA because it's not super hop. Like, it's not a hop focused beer. IPAs and pale ales, like, the sole reason for those is so that the hops can shine through.
And they're all like, oh, that's an interesting take on that kind of thing. But it's not something exciting, something I want to go back to.
Exactly.
And then the other thing that makes this thing weird is that this is an IPA.
Sure.
Like,
I smelt it. I don't agree.
I tasted it and I don't agree. But it looks like an IPA.
Yeah.
It does. B, it's 6%, so it is on the low end, so you could throw that into the pale ale, but 6 is still pretty high. I've used 50 and nothing else. But, like, you taste the part that is the IPA, but it's like,
yes,
it's like, this is an IPA that's a LaCroix IPA.
It's like It's like Anakin Skywalker in the suit of Darth Vader, and Darth Vader is German beer.
It's like
he's there, but like it's really just like a German beer.
It's like if you went to a party,
yeah,
and someone handed you a solo cup of beer,
yeah,
and you took a drink,
yeah,
and you didn't want to offend them, but it was just this like buttery Pilsner, and you're like, I don't like this, and then a good buddy of yours who knows that you're not going to like that, pours some of his IPA into your Pilsner to try to make it better.
Yeah.
But really, it didn't make it better. There's just two separate tastes, and there's just no masking the buttery Pilsner.
It's like you're at a party, and a girl in a white shirt with no bra on jumps in the pool, and the IPA is her white t-shirt, and the German-styled Pilsner is her titties. Sure, the shirt's there, but all you really see is the titties.
Yeah. So...
yeah. That's kind of what we're dealing with right now.
Big fans.
Number one. I just...
This is why we have a part of our rating where part of our rating score sheet where we talk about concepts.
Yeah, that's a big proponent of shit. What were you doing here?
Am I biased from reading what this beer was described as and knowing it was going to turn out bad, and now that's affecting me? Maybe.
No.
But like this hit my expectation. I was like reading the description, and I'm like, this is not going to work.
Hear me out. I'm glad you read that to me, because I would have been like, I would have like did a spit take, been like, what the fuck is this? Is not an IPA. What the fuck is this? Okay, so this is a collaboration though. I don't think I caught that.
Yeah.
I didn't. I thought.
I didn't mention that. No, Bit Burger is the
other
collaboration.
brewery. Yeah.
I don't know if they're a brewery or because it says Bitburger signature Seigelhopfen hops.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know.
So
I don't know. They could be a brewery. They could be a hop farm. I don't know.
Never heard of them in my entire life.
Two iconic family-owned breweries, so they're brewery,
yeah, right there,
come together in celebration of hop harvest. From field to kettle to fridge, select hops bring aromas of cantaloupe and orange. Oddly enough, the website says from fresh pick to fridge ready, seize the day with every sip of this fresh hop IPA featuring notes of not cantaloupe and orange, but honeydew melon and tropical passion fruit.
Wait, what?
Their website says honeydew melon and tropical passion fruit.
Yep.
This says cantaloupe and orange.
Oh. Well, I think we just bursted their bubble. What in the actual shit? Bitburger Brewery is a brewery in Bitburg, Rhineland Palatinate, whatever.
I was going to say maybe this is a different year. I mean, it could still be a year for sure. But like it's the same.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they suck.
I just don't.
Clearly, they have somebody else writing. They have people writing blurbs for one thing and not the other. Pretty cool though. Bitburg Brewery were founded in 1817. That's pretty fucking old.
What beers do they have?
Yeah. So they're like a conglomerate. It seems like they have subsidiaries. I don't know how you say that shit.
Subsidiaries.
Yeah. Bitburger Premium Pills. That's a thing.
See? I knew it. I knew it was going to be a Pilsner.
Yep, right there's number one.
Yeah, no, I type in Bitburger.
Yeah.
Comes up Bitburger Premium Pills.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah. So
from a mile away.
So Deschutes was it is literally like they just poured 2 beers in this can, like you said.
I called it.
It is exactly what it tastes like. And that's actually to their point, the whole it makes sense now. I would never have gathered that, but that makes sense.
Does it?
No. I kind of just thought it was because it was in collaboration. Little did we know it has nothing to do with the breweries, and that split in half is because there's beers, 2 different fucking beers in one can. Jesus Christ. It sucks because if you took out the Pilsner part, it wouldn't be that bad. It would actually be pretty decent.
Who knows?
Or if it was just the Pilsner part, you'd be like, oh, this is an interesting, like, buttery Pilsner.
Yeah, maybe they should maybe what they should have done is had a 6-pack and
yes,
4 of the beers were the collaboration. I think it should be the opposite ratio, but I'll just go with the thing. 4 of the beers were the collaboration, and then 1 of just the shoot side of the Chasin Freshies, and 1 was just the Bitburger.
There we go.
Chasin Freshies Pilsner.
That's fair. I don't know.
I don't really care though. I
Are we just gonna go grab another fresh hot beer right now, or
I don't know.
Aren't you excited to drink another one?
I mean, here's the thing. We do have
a lot of fresh hops.
We have
a lot of beers.
2 more fresh hops.
Yeah.
We also have 2 War Childs
that
you just brought. And then we have 3.
I almost brought the other one.
Yeah, so we have that one too. But I'm just like, do I want to go into another part of the episode with this mentality?
I see.
And then what am I gonna do for the YouTubes? Are we doing 2 episodes? Or are we stitching them together? And
that's what they did.
Because
apparently it can be done. You can just stitch shit together. I don't know.
Listen, let's just enjoy the beer.
Oh,
okay. Let's just drink the beer.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
It's not undrinkable.
No, it's not.
Let's be honest.
No.
We're talking shit.
Can you pull the scale up here?
It's not.
No.
I mean, we could just get into ratings so that we can get it over with. And
yeah.
We'll just go from there.
Yeah.
How does it look?
Very hazy, quite orangey yellow. Mostly orange though.
Okay. Let's give this a.
It smells like ass. It smells like it smells like a yeasty pills.
I'm gonna type in ass.
Ass.
It's not pleasing. I wouldn't call it ass.
It actually has some fruity notes too. I can't pick out the specific fruit, but it's a bit fruity as well as yeasty.
I'm agreeing with them on the cantaloupe orange smell and taste. I don't think honeydew and passion fruit is correct at all.
Cantaloupe
and orange, I can see it.
Totally. Yeah, I agree with that.
So I'll just go into taste because I'm not gonna. It's not. I don't know.
It's buttery. It's like someone buttered a cantaloupe and then sprinkled some hop dust on it. But
is it crackery? Like a saltine?
I'm not getting crackery.
Like that, like breadiness at the end. Like to me, it's like a cracker. It's like it's a little more bitter than a bready.
I'm just getting like a rindy cantaloupe kind of taste personally. I mean, I get it because it's like pretty yeasty too. So like it would make sense. I just personally am not getting it.
Who knows?
But I could see it. So
I'll leave that one up to you guys.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Feel.
Pretty medium to thick body. like,
but it's odd though.
silky. Like silky is a good word for the feel.
I'm gonna say mild silk.
That's fair. It's all, and thank you for pinpointing this fucking cantaloupe because that's now all I can taste. And it must be why I fucking hate this beer so much because I despise. Why would I just want to chew on water? Why would I want to chew on bitter water? What's wrong with this beer, Levi? Give us some critiques.
I said it should be 2 beers. It's fucking weird. Stop. Get some help.
True. Don't do this ever again.
Yeah. You know, we talk about this a lot. You don't have to. I think everyone wants to create the next Brute IPA.
Oh.
They want to start this new thing. But let's be honest.
Yeah.
The Brute IPAs were good for like 4 seconds. You had one of them and you're like, that's crazy. That's delicious. That's a fun thing. But then you didn't get it again. But then everyone made them again. And I think because everyone made them after that, everyone thought these were wildly popular.
Yeah.
But now no one makes them.
No.
Because they didn't sell.
Yeah, no one does make them, actually. You're right. I didn't see not one this past year. And then the year before, there wasn't a lot. There was some, but not a lot.
Yeah, no.
And this year was none.
So, just because everyone's doing it doesn't make it good.
No.
And then just because someone finds it interesting doesn't make it good either. And stop aiming for like the interesting, cool thing.
This segues into your Instagram post so well.
What was my Instagram post? I posted about democracy.
Yeah.
I forgot about
Just
that.
because people
I just
agree on
shared
it
it.
doesn't make it good.
Yeah. I just stop, like, there are certain things like fresh up IPAs that people like. I mean, I hate to speak for everybody, but I am going to. And I love to do that, actually, because
deserve
I'm
it.
right.
Yeah.
One of the great things about fresh hop season is being able to learn more about varietal of hop, how they work together, especially in the IPA genre.
Yeah.
So doing something weird and throwing in some odd hops and some like Pilsner-like tastes and German style to it, I can see it as like a fun project, like a project beer. But like,
Don't can it and mass produce it. That's fucking weird.
Or taste it first. Like,
Yeah, did you try this actually?
I don't think they did. Honestly, I don't think. I think like if a brewer walked in and is like, "Hey, I homebrewed this with this kind of thing," I would taste it. I'm like, "Yeah, it's really interesting." Honestly, not my favorite, but it's really interesting, cool project.
Right. Yeah. Like it. Like as a beer developed really well. So good job.
Yeah,
But
but I'm not like, "Oh, we gotta fucking get this on the market."
nah,
It's
no,
crazy.
No, not for me. Definitely not.
So I don't know, and it's just like to me, like putting it out, like I get why it's like put out in the fresh hop because it does use fresh hop season, but it feels like you are using the popularity to manipulate people to buy this because this is not an IPA. It doesn't taste like a fresh hop. It's not what people are wanting when they buy a fresh hop beer. We're wanting something hoppy and something herbal and earthy, something that we typically don't get. This tastes like something I could like. This doesn't taste like a fresh hop beer to me. I could care less.
I really, really dislike that they don't say anything about anything. They just call it an IPA. They don't say like a German style IPA. Then I'd be like, oh, I kind of understand where this is probably going to go. Makes sense. Yeah. There's direction. I can see what's happening. Just saying that you collabed with a German fucking brewery does not mean anything to me, really, because anybody can fucking make anything.
Especially to normal people.
Right,
like,
exactly.
I kind of got, and that's where my concern was. And then I was like, interesting. I hope they don't go this direction. And then I read about it and I'm like, yep, they went that direction.
Went that direction.
But not, like a normal person isn't going to have those feelings probably, so.
Right. Yeah. Once
But
again,
here's our scale, so you can figure out where they lie.
Mm-hmm. I'm good.
I have 2.
All right, count us down.
3, 2, 1.
1.5. All right. Okay. All right. Same category.
Okay, so you're also in the bad.
Yes. Also in the bad.
Because you're on the fence there. So
Well, yeah. So I think
tell me about your fence sitting.
it is a bad beer. This is not a good beer. I mean, just
Or
starting.
meh is the category up.
Yeah, and meh is the category up. I think it's still in that bad category, the 1 to 1.5. Starting at the top, like there just is no concept. I don't understand what you're doing. It, like we keep saying over and over again, it's like you just sewed 2 beers together, and that just doesn't fucking work that way. It's not great.
So to help, 2 to 2.5 is an underdeveloped concept.
Yeah.
Like you had some direction, but you kind of didn't know where you're going. Who knows?
Right.
1.5 to 2, which is meh, is just lack of concept.
Yeah.
And you're saying they're below that, which is bad. We don't even have a descriptor for bad. It's just, it fits in between of lack of concept and shit, which is not good at all. No direction. We'll finish drinking, but it's terrible. And then the last category is undrinkable, which is,
Yeah.
we would like literally pour it out.
Yeah.
Which we have like done once.
Yeah. It's definitely not, okay, so working from the ground up, it's definitely not undrinkable.
Correct.
If I bought a 6-pack of this, I could drink all 6. It would not be enjoyable, but I could.
I might pour out the last one, honestly.
I don't know. I would
Might
just hope somebody else would drink it.
You know what I'll do? I'm gonna save it for someone to try it, and I'm like not to like surprise them.
No.
Well, maybe if it's Jack.
Maybe.
He's acting like a John. Then
Fair enough.
Maybe. But I'd be like, try this as a really interesting concept. If you
Sure.
don't like it, just toss it because I'm not going to drink it.
Yeah.
So
I also don't think it's in the shit category because although it's not good at all and there is definitely no clear direction, I don't think it's like it has good things going for it. I can see good things in this beer.
Well, I would say that the taste itself, while I'm not partial to it, it's not like I wouldn't be like, this is a shit beer. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, this is just not good.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I'd say.
We have a pints episode at Sig Brewery, and they have their clean IPA.
Cool.
Nick was the one drinking it. I think we filmed that. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember.
If we didn't, they have a clean IPA, and that is shit.
That's
might be actually that's undrinkable.
It is undrinkable.
Honestly.
I did not finish it. I had about 2 drinks, maybe 3, and I left like 3/4 of the beer.
So, like that one is just like this is horrible.
Yes,
and this is not horrible. It's just not good.
No, yeah, it's not good. But again, so I think so then that kind of just puts us in the bad category, and I'm towards the top of that interval, just because, like I said, I think there are some good things in this beer. If you split these beers in half, I think each one of those beers would be pretty decent. You know, it would be pretty like middle of the road, if not a little bit above like an average for me. But just together, it's like, what the fuck? Like, they obviously didn't make this beer thinking, we're going to make 2 beers and stitch them together. Like, there's no way they fucking thought that. So, like, to have something come out this way, it's like, what the fuck were you doing?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
I'm quite a bit lower than you.
Yeah.
I was really tempted to say 1 and then just sit on the fence between shit and bad.
Yeah.
A lot of the redemption to German style beers that aren't my palate are remedied, because I do like a lot of German beers.
Yeah,
I do. There's a lot I don't like at all, but a lot of those that I don't like are remedied by German style food.
Yeah.
Sausages and pretzels, cheese and stuff like that. They pair well, so it's a bit of a better experience.
You're not a big fan, but sauerkraut can really complement some beer styles really well, though.
I'm sure it can. It's just not for me. I bet onions can too.
Yeah.
Sauteed onions. Still,
Yum.
no. So I'm trying to like place in my mind where I'm drinking this beer, and I'm like, it's bad and not shit, and I don't want a pretzel with this.
No, it'd ruin the pretzel.
Like if I ordered this at a restaurant,
I don't know that I would finish it at the restaurant, actually.
Well, yeah, and it might. There's a difference between ordering a beer,
Yeah.
that's dog shit, like the clean IPA,
Yeah.
and just being like, no,
Right.
and then you order something else.
Yeah.
This, I would have a hard time ordering something else because it's like, fine, but I don't want it.
Right, exactly.
So I would just be kind of pissed
Yeah.
for like 16 ounces of a beer that I don't like, and then it's ruining my pretzel.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I'm like, it kind of is shit. Like I would be
very upset.
the podcast is like, who knows what we're going to get half the time as far as beer goes. So
Sure.
I'm kind of used to like dissecting a beer, but if I like go out to a restaurant, I'm having a meal and I'm trying to have a good time and eating good food, and I got this, I would be like it might be like I'm just picturing myself in there, and I'm like, because I'm such a volatile person, like it might ruin my dinner.
No, it absolutely.
I would be pissed.
It absolutely would ruin my dinner, 100%. Well, and two, like you and I, especially like revolving around food, are experience based, and so it's like this is a piece of the experience, and it really fucking puts a damper on it.
We're experiential based, and then we're part of the millennials that are like, I'm not going to just complain about nothing. Like if
Right.
something's dog shit, like I'm not even complaining about that. I'm just going to get something else.
Yeah.
So it's like you have a beer that you feel like I have to drink.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. This is really bad, and I have to fucking finish it.
But
wow.
it's not bad enough to where I can't drink it, like the clean IPA.
No, yeah.
Can't.
Yeah, that one there were no arguments. There was no insults or bloodshed. That was just very agreed that like no one wants to fucking finish this beer. I think did all three of us try it too? Because like it was like I'm like
So-
I will leave this on the table.
No, so Elizabeth and I went to Sig first.
Yeah.
I ordered that, and she ordered something else, and I had to swap beers with her.
Okay. Yes.
I couldn't drink it. I
Right.
was like, this is the worst thing I've ever had.
And then, like not under your recommendation, I ordered it. Actually, I think I ordered it. You didn't know I did until it came, and you were like, "Oh,
I think I came back
yes,
from like the restroom or something.
Yeah.
And you guys were like, yeah, we got drinks, and
you were like, oh,
and I was like,
yikes."
what'd you get? And you're like, clean IPA, and I was like, that's the one. Like
Yeah.
when you said clean IPA, I think it triggered in my brain. I was like, that's what I got when I came here, and it was dog shit.
Yeah.
Man. Sorry for you.
You're like, I hope you have a better experience than I did, but
And then to preserve his anonymity, because he told me this kind of in secret, someone at that works at a local brewery
yes,
also, but he couldn't, because they knew he worked at a brewery, he couldn't say it was bad, and he had to suffer through drinking it.
Yeah.
He's like, yep. And I had to drink it.
yeah, that's painful. I am so glad I didn't have to drink it because it was fucking dog shit. I can't imagine having to drink the entire fucking thing of that. God. It's just so bad.
Sig's unfortunate because it's kind of a cool place,
Yes. Yeah.
and they do some kind of cool things with beers,
Yeah.
but their food is like very meh,
Yeah.
and their beer isn't great other than like the kind of cool things they do. So there's no, like, I want to like them, but there's not like a good redeeming factor.
It really felt like a slice of the Midwest. because in a lot of these like rural areas, you just have people where like they don't know what fucking food tastes like. They have no idea, but they think they do. So they open a fucking restaurant for some fucking reason. And
Yeah, like what's it? Black Fleet.
Yeah, right. Like oh my gosh.
You open a brewery in a kitchen, you do neither well.
What's worse about them is that they're like pretentious about it. They're like their food is supposed to be like fancy, and it's like it's just ass. Especially their beer.
We've gone to Odin a few times recently, which is another brewery now located in Tacoma. They're in the process of moving to Tacoma, and they have a restaurant here currently.
Yeah.
Their beer isn't amazing.
No, it's not amazing,
but it's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Actually, the Galactic Space Dragon, pretty good.
It is pretty. Yeah, I think both of us were like, I'm surprised. This is actually pretty good.
Their other beers they're fine.
Yeah.
But like Galactic Space Dragon, the fact that they have a bar.
I was gonna say,
I can order a drink.
If they don't have the Space Dragon, just get a drink.
And their bartenders, I think there's one really good one, and then a couple like they're fine.
Yeah.
Their food is kind of meh, but it's eatable. But to me, like the Galactic Space Dragon and the fact that they have a bar is like a big redeeming factor.
Yeah.
I like want to have those redeeming factors at a place like Sig, at a place like Black Fleet, and now even like Seven Seas.
Yeah.
I mean, Seven Seas redeeming factor for a long time is the fact that you can bring food in, but like, and there's just so many bad things about their setup. Even that's
right. Because outside of bringing food in, you have Built, and it's like, okay, yeah. Although like they do really good stuff, I don't want to pay $1 million for food every time I go to the brewery.
Yeah, Built is, and like they're very expensive. And don't get me wrong, like I understand why they're expensive because they do use
like craft ingredients,
meats and cheeses, and then they give you a good amount. Like I've seen a couple of your sandwiches.
They're big.
But like I'm not a sandwich person.
Right.
I would rather a burger.
Yeah.
So especially with beer, I don't want like I don't know. I just feel like an asshole with like a fancy sandwich and a beer.
It's a bit pretentious. It's weird.
Yeah, maybe that's on me, but I'm just not. I don't know.
No, it's fair. Because it's not like
it's just not a redeeming factor. It's like a cool thing. Like if you like sandwiches, it's cool that they have a sandwich place that you can also get a cool sandwich from. But,
did I take you, or did we take you and Elizabeth to Lucky's when you guys were in Chicago, that sandwich place?
Yeah.
That's different. That's like, I mean, it's barely a sandwich, really, because you have fucking seasoned fries on there.
Yeah. We have, one of our Instagram photos is from there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I wish that we had the vlogging setup that we do now, because that would have been a cool trip to.
Yeah, it would have.
To do the vlogging stuff with.
Yeah, went to some good spots. That was a really fun trip.
Okay, Built is still there, I guess.
Huh.
Interesting. I saw Built was at a different place in Tacoma.
I did too. Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder if they're still there.
Yeah.
But apparently.
Yeah.
Built in.
Yeah, they're like on a corner somewhere.
Tacoma Ave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Very odd.
Good for them.
Yeah. Again, good stuff. Like if I like want a good top tier sandwich, I would totally go there. They're fantastic.
I'm looking at who they're partnered with, and I know some of the brands, and they're like, like Malden salt. Like that's what I use for my steak and stuff.
Right.
So I mean, like, yeah, exactly. They have quality. They have quality stuff. So I get why they're expensive. It's just not
what I'm looking for at a brewery.
It just doesn't. I don't think it fits very well.
I don't think so either.
I think it would fit really well if, like you go to spots in LA, there's spots in Florida like this, like, more populated, better off cities, more hipster cities that, they have like halls where you have like 8 or 10 vendors and they do different things like, oh, this vendor does Built sandwiches. This vendor does coffee. Oh, here's a gelato thing. Here's a barbecue little shop. Here's a bar. Built would be great in that.
Oh, yeah. Would thrive.
And I think that was the original plan for Seven Seas because they have a couple spots, but it just never it just doesn't work out that way. It's just not the right. There's not enough spaces.
It's a weird building. Like you have to go up like 2 flights of stairs just to like get to the front door. Like it's a little awkward.
When you think with like all the kids and stuff that they allow, that would make sense. But it's just not the vibe. The layout isn't that way. They don't have enough seating for that.
No.
They don't have that style of seating for that either.
That's for sure. Because a lot of their tables are just like bar top tables with bar stools. It's just kind of weird.
And weirdly placed couches that take up way too much space.
Way too much space because they've got like the 2 couches, a rug, a coffee table in the middle.
They're massive tables, which are awesome. They're cool tables, but they're like a brewery style table. So it really feels like a brewery, not a like a food hall.
Yeah, a food hall. Yeah, that's a good.
Or
way.
Whatever you want to. I don't know.
No, that's a good. That's a good way to put it.
So it's just, I don't know. It's just awkward.
Yeah, like if it could be like a mini, like I think of like in LA, like they have a few of them in different areas, like what they call them packing houses. Like you could do a mini one of those. Like you could very easily fit like 3. Probably 4 different things in there. Another thing that would benefit them to do that too is that they like scaled down some of the brewing operations at that location and did some more up in Gig Harbor.
Yeah,
that would open up some more space for them too.
Well, I think they have
then signage outside the building too would help.
They have 2 or 3 vendor spots already. They have that back private room. You got to get rid of the private room if you want that, because
that's for sure.
Those halls aren't made for. They're like a cafeteria.
You also have to open up the fucking roof. Like, why the fuck could you not have an outdoor patio out there?
Yeah. You'd have to get rid of that whole case where they have their like
all the merch.
Display. Yeah,
it's weird.
That's a shop area right there. Like maybe it's a clothing vendor that sells your gear, but like it has to get rid of that.
Yep.
Better restrooms.
I mean, honestly, you could even put like get rid of the whole cabinetry there and just put like a cart, like even if it was like a coffee cart, like something like that. Like I know a buddy of mine in California, like that's like his thing. He's like a traveling coffee cart.
We have in Tacoma, we have Bliss ice cream.
Yeah.
When they do an ice cream cart thing.
That would be perfect. Something like that. Easy. But yeah, the space is just underutilized for sure. It's just a bit weird. And don't get me wrong, like it can fill up. Like we have been out there on like really packed out busy days.
Well, that's the unfortunate thing about the current setup is we've been out there on busy days and it's like they got 3 huge tables and there'll be like 2 parties filling up all 3 of them.
Yeah.
And like there would be 1 or 2 people from each party drinking a beer.
You got kids, you got like grandparents, and it's like, what's going on?
We're going there for the brewery. We're like, we got nowhere to sit now. And you're like 40 people are just like, they got birthday cake and 2 beers. And like, I'm like, why?
You can't, because it's the Pacific Northwest and you can't hurt anyone's feelings. Where in LA, if you didn't fucking buy something, they will be quick to be like, no, hey, can I get you something? Because otherwise you got to get out.
Well, I think that's part of the problem of not knowing what their identity is. Like
right.
If they were a packing house or something like that.
It'd be different.
They had a lot of vendors, then people could get like, the kids could go get a corn dog from the fried food place, and grandma can go get her built sandwich. And, you know, no one like then the beer isn't an issue.
Exactly.
But when you have like 30 people and like there's 2 beers within the group, and then we're there for the beer, which is basically all they sell, we're like,
it's their building.
Fuck. Now it's hurting us as clients. But if it was a huge hall like that, and they had better seating options that were geared towards, you know, smaller groups as well as larger groups and stuff like that, then it wouldn't be as big of a deal. We're like, oh, we're going to the packing house to get a couple beers, and maybe if we're hungry, like you just go to the vendor you want. Then it's super casual, but it's just not. It doesn't end up being like that.
No, I fucking love the one in Anaheim. Did you ever go to that one?
I don't think so. I hate Anaheim.
That's fair.
It's disgusting.
You're not wrong. Anaheim is an absolute shithole, and that's totally fair. But the Anaheim Packing House is really cool. the like just outside of it too, they have like really cool like park type areas. The actual packing house has some like really cool vendors, like different like they got like juice, they've got coffee, they've got like random like barbecue type, like Korean barbecue type places. They have this thing this place that they do like, you ever had those like popsicles, but like it's basically ice cream on a stick? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got like one of those. That's fantastic.
Tampa's Wharf.
Yeah.
Sparkman Wharf. Yeah. I mean, perfect.
All outside.
All the vendors are in shipping containers. They got like a tacos place. They used to have a pizza place. They had a barbecue one. They had a fish vendor that was a double container, and on one of the containers they ran a full bar.
That's rad.
On the other, there was the fish fry. They had a all natural like Whole30 thing, which was like vegan to like chicken and grass fed steak bowls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They had the ice cream popsicle, and they did frozen bananas.
Oh yeah.
They did frozen bananas in champagne, like a mimosa.
What? That's so rad.
An ice cream vendor.
That's so Florida though.
All on the main part, and then huge turf area with a stage, and behind that, a brewery that ran a beer tap, like a tap room that was all outside, and then behind that was like a couple shops, and then I can't remember the name. This is an East Coast thing. Some like restaurant that did like, they had like a bar and stuff, and they had like a bowling alley, and they had bar games like lawn darts and
that's cool.
Bocce ball, stuff like that.
Do the tables have umbrellas? I can't remember from the pictures.
Yes.
Okay.
Some of them.
Yeah, that's nice. Because I mean, it only rains for like 20 minutes there, and then it stops.
Yeah.
Or like an hour tops, and then it's done.
Yeah.
But still.
Well, like that, you could go get a beer at the wharf.
Right. Oh
with
yeah.
Kids and it's just not a big deal. Like there's just enough seating, and I mean, granted, they're not limited to an indoor space like they would be here, but I mean, it's just,
that's the problem. We can't have anything like that because they would only operate for like 2 months out of the year.
Well, sure, but like Seven Seas is big enough to do something like that
absolutely.
On a smaller scale. Rhine House, big enough to do that. Like fucking Rhine House, that place is huge.
Such a waste of space, honestly.
Well, just the price for bocce ball and shit is just crazy.
That's right. I forgot I had to pay for it. Like, what the fuck?
I kind of get paying for it, but it should be cheap.
Hear me out. It's I don't know. Never mind. I don't know.
I shouldn't have to walk in there and not see anybody playing ever.
That's true. I don't know. It would be nice to have places like that out here, but
well, the other thing for Rhine House is they just suck.
Yeah.
I just think so many places suck.
That's true.
Maybe we're the problem.
That's very possible. We're just not meant to be out here. Which is sad because there's so many cool things out here. Just gotta move to Montana, I guess. Shoot darn, dang it. Oh, crud, I hate it there. It's the worst. It's too beautiful. I hate it.
I need to buy some land.
Yeah.
That happened.
On a similar but quite different note.
I spend, at least an hour a day just looking at land. It's bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw a yurt for sale in Washington.
That's
yesterday.
That's what my buddies are doing right now. They bought a huge plot of land out in North Carolina.
No, I saw a yurt for sale.
Right.
Like on the property and everything.
Yeah, no.
Again, that's where I'm just saying, like, I saw one.
Yeah. You were tempted.
Well, and I made me think of your buddies.
Oh, okay,
This one's already done. And here you go.
Yeah, because that was the thing. Yeah, they built it from like scratch. Like they had a bunch of the building materials shipped to them, but then like when it came to the floors and all insulating and everything, like they had to just do all of that on their own. And I should show you pictures because it looks fucking gorgeous now. Like they just kitted it out. But all of that just to live until they save money to actually build their house on that land. So
I imagine they're keeping the yurt though,
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. I would think so, but
because then you could like Airbnb out. and
yeah,
stuff like that.
well, yeah, and even if you don't do that, just like for when you have like family over, like a lot of family over,
For
something
me,
like
I'd
that.
be like, I'm gonna get a break from the house and just
That's true too. Yeah, honestly,
camp out in the yurt for a couple days.
well, and they've got 3 kids too, and
Yeah.
so it's like, yeah, you might want like a night to yourself out in the yurt. Might be nice.
Well, I was just like, I've been looking at property, obviously, and you know, I saw 28 acres, like probably north of Yakima, and it was just this little like cabin. Let me pull it up so I can actually get it right here.
Yeah, sure.
So, let's see, 22.8.
Okay, still
22.9 acres.
that's a good chunk of fucking land.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's north. It's a little north of Wenatchee,
oh, okay.
and it just has this little 420 square foot, 1 bedroom, 1 bath cabin, all powered from like propane gas. You got like a little setup to run all electricity and the stove and everything like that. And I was like,
It's pretty good.
like that's not too far. It's a couple hours, maybe 2.5 hours from here. But like it'd be, that's a good like just like get away for a weekend.
Yeah.
Go out in the middle of nowhere and live like really simply for a few days,
Yeah.
couple weeks kind of thing.
Yep. That would be really nice.
So
I do, man, because like there are a few better experiences in my life. If not, honestly, I don't think there are. I don't think there are like any better experiences in my life than like Renee and I just driving across the country and like camping out in the middle of nowhere for a week. Like it just does, nothing beats it.
it's just so good to just get away, like even if it's an hour away or whatever. Like we do that with Airbnbs a few times a year. We try to like
Right.
just to turn off the phones and
Wow.
all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And plus, I mean, even if you don't, right? Like most places we're trying to get away to doesn't even have cell service anyway, so
Yeah.
doesn't even matter.
Well, the hard part about going to the cabin is like it. In a lot of ways, it feels like you're getting away, but in a lot of ways, doesn't feel that way at all.
Yeah, exactly. No,
It's so like modern and everything. I'm like,
yeah.
it's not the same.
Yeah, it's not. It really just depends on your agenda for sure.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you just want like let's just have like a little mini staycation, like just have a weekend to like relax. Beautiful. Gorgeous fucking area. Very, very nice house. Like great place to do that. But if you're like, I want to go simplify and decompress for a weekend, not exactly the place to do that.
Well, especially since like we don't own it.
That's true too. Yeah.
So I bet like
Especially for Keith and Dawn, like
they like he probably like when he goes out there and he just works, like that's decompressing. Like he's just getting away from his other work.
Yep.
He's got stuff to do. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
Like, and I'm that kind of person too. Like,
yeah.
I feel that way about mowing my lawn.
You're right.
The 4 feet of lawn that I have right now, but still,
Yeah.
that's how I feel about mowing lawn. I just like get invested into it because it just like gets my mind off of everything else. I can just fucking do my thing.
Spring's coming, man. I'm gonna be enlisting your knowledge because good God, do I have moss? It is fucking everywhere.
We need to build a fire pit. You got a good yard for a fire pit.
We got a spot for it. Even they literally even have like a little gravel area.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think I remember that.
I would ideally like to build one where it's like half
we need to
underground, half above. Yeah. I don't want like the fucking portable ones where you move them out.
No,
Like,
no.
I want
a
one
real-
that's permanent there.
Yeah,
But
we'll do that.
yeah, not difficult at all either. So
Yeah, that'll be fun.
yep, agreed. No, there's a lot. We're gonna spend a lot of time at that house this summer because there's just so much room, and it'll be good.
A little more room than our
Just a smidge.
lawn.
Yeah. Well, and two, it's like we can have, it'll be like us and like Jack and Michelle or whoever, you know, Tom and Lauren, and like we can all hang out and then we can all like do our own things too, because like it's a decent amount of space where it's like, oh, the girls will be inside, you know, talking or whatever, and we can like go out to the garage and chill and have beers, or, you know, sit out by the fire,
sit in the theater chairs.
Exactly. Those are coming.
It's really what you want.
So soon. I can't even wait. God, shit's good. Shit's good, man, and good shit is coming, because I know we're being tricked by the weather this week, but like it's like a glimmer of hope.
Yeah, it's not been too bad.
No, well, and this upcoming week, it does not currently call for rain a single day. That's pretty good for January. Well,
we had rain this morning.
Yeah, we had rain this morning, but then it turned out to be a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I was talking to my barber about that today. I was like,
yeah,
I'm fine if it's cloudy and rainy at night and then sunny during the day.
That's fine.
It's great.
It's not ideal. I'd rather not rain at all, but like I'll take it as long as it's like nice during the day.
I just need to go camping in this weather.
Yeah, honestly. I really hope we get some more nice weather. Again, this is a little weird for January.
The weather looks good on the 10-day, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, shoot. I'd be down to go next weekend. And I don't even like...
You don't die snowboarding.
I'm indestructible. If you have to be proven wrong.
I'm not.
That's true. Your Achilles heel is ironically your thumbs, not your heels.
That was a bad time.
Yeah, I believe it. That shit got real purple for a minute there.
It's one of those things where it's like, it hurts so fucking bad, but there's nothing you or anyone else can do to appease it, and then you're just there like in excruciating pain, and you're like, pretty neat.
Yeah,
I love this.
I give you like tape to tape it up, and the girls are like, "Do you go to the doctor?" And it's like, he's gonna do this.
Yeah.
So sure, if we want like a fucking bill, we could do that, but
to do this.
But he's gonna do this. It's pointless. You're like, it's not my first rodeo.
So what is he going to do? X-ray it and be like, hey, those bones are probably broken again. And then do you want to know what he does from there? Tapes it.
That's it. Maybe he'll throw a splint in there. Actually
not for that.
Really?
They would get a brace.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, so brace for your wrist,
right?
But for that part of your thumb, they usually give you a brace just for stabilizing, but like the brace doesn't actually do anything.
Because you can kind of move it, the brace, yeah.
With your thumb, yeah, because it's just a weird joint. So really the best thing is taping it.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Yeah, not the best time.
Yeah. I'm like, I've been here before.
Yeah.
I know how this goes.
Yeah. But yeah, next weekend... I mean, Renee's down too. I mean, we've both been jonesing for some good camping, and you've been brushing up on your bush. I mean, your craft. I mean, yeah, something in between there. So apparently I got something recommended today, and I clicked on it, some bushcraft shit, and I click it, and I'm like, I guess I subscribed to this dude like a long ass time ago, because I don't remember this, but
there you go.
I was subscribed, and I'd like watched some dude. It was like some dude and his dad like made like a cabin like out in the middle of fucking nowhere, and yeah, it was pretty cool. But then the guys I was watching today, they were like, it was very practical stuff, and I'm sure you're like so delved into this, you're like, oh yeah, that's obviously, but it's like. He was literally just like going over tips with axes and like splitting wood and like different tricks on how to split wood, and he's like, super easy. Just be careful, and you just know the right technique to do it.
You just hit it with an axe, dude.
Quite almost literally. And then he was going over making feather sticks to start fire, and I was like, I never thought of any of this shit in my life, but goddamn, that makes a lot of sense.
No, that's how a lot of the stuff that I see goes. It's like you see it, and the solution is so simple.
Yeah, you're like, oh, of course. Yeah, no, oh my gosh,
Okay,
yes.
duh.
Yeah, no shit, stupid. Of course I'd do that. But seriously, thanks for the idea.
Yeah, but seriously, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Revolutionary. But like, duh, of course that would work.
Obviously stupid. No, it was good stuff, and I'm with you. I watched like 2 of those videos today, and I was like, all right, yeah, I really want to go camping now.
Really, I'm not going to do any of those things.
Well, I like some. Like getting firewood to make the fire, and like splitting them, and using your knife and whatnot. But as far as making the camp, I'm like,
you're not gonna start a fire from
I'll get matches, but and I've got a tent I'll use, but yeah. I've always wanted to camp in a hammock, but man, my back is already kind of fucked. Like, I can't imagine. I don't think I could do it.
No.
Not comfortably or well, at least.
I don't think I could either.
Yeah. I mean, sleeping on the ground is like the best sleep I've ever gotten. Like something super firm and flat. That's what I need.
Well, then maybe you should do whole survival, no tent.
That's fair, yeah.
Unless you have your matches.
Yeah, I just need matches. I ain't trying to fucking friction start a fire. Fuck that shit.
Those survival challenges are my favorite, where they go in with like,
oh, they're cool.
A set amount of gear. They're like, I could bring 3 things.
Right.
I'll be like an axe and something and something.
Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. But just trying to have a good time here, not really put in too much work. Like, I'm down to work for some things, but like,
well, I always think about that stuff, and I'm like, okay, axe and gathering wood, yeah, building your shelter, okay. But like, I'm like, but I'll probably want some like paracord to be able to tie shit up easily.
Yeah.
Also, probably don't want to like rely on hunting for food.
No, not particularly.
At least not here.
No, I love food, and I can just buy it. So like,
and I eat a lot. So.
Yeah, great skills.
Yeah.
Would love to like learn them and maybe even practice them at some time. But like, just trying to have a good time.
Fire. I'm like, okay, yeah, I really want some matches or something.
Yeah, like maybe one of these days I'll start one from friction just to say I've done it. But like
cooking a steak directly on hot coals. Like, I'm like, okay, I can do that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Eating without a plate.
Steven, what's a plate?
Like, that's like, okay, is it ideal? Probably not, but like, not so inconvenient that like couldn't do it.
Right, exactly.
But like fishing in Western Washington in the winter, I'm like, I think I'd rather not.
Yeah, no thank you. Not at all, actually. But I do really I've always wanted to go like hiking and then camping in the backcountry. Always wanted to do that. And maybe I shouldn't say, never mind, I won't say this right now. I don't trust the government. I'll just say that.
Regulations in the Olympic National Forest are just
be responsible.
You have to be, I can't remember the distance, but X amount away from like an established road. And then your piss and shit has to be X amount of distance from a river.
Yep.
But that's it.
Yep.
So,
which going for a weekend, I usually, every now and then I will, but it's rare. I usually don't even shit when I go camping for a weekend.
Yeah, it all depends on if I consume coffee or not, and I'll probably consume coffee.
Almost a guarantee. I think it's still pretty 50-50 for me. Just depends.
I'm a big fan of going camping, and then every morning going into town for shit and a beer.
I like that too.
Hit up the local bar, maybe get a snack.
That's hard to do if we're going backcountry camping.
Maybe get some breakfast. Yeah, that's where it comes into.
I guess it depends on how deep into the woods we do camp, though. So, like, if we go minimum yardage from the road, then it's probably still doable to do.
I would probably judge it by time. Like, let's hike back for an hour.
That's far. I feel like a half hour is doable.
Maybe a half hour.
I feel like I'm just thinking again, you're like, oh, I'm just trying to go take a shit and get a beer. Yikes! Got to do an hour hike just to do that. I don't know. Like, an hour is not a long time, but like when you're just walking, it can feel long.
Yeah.
So it's just we're different goals for different.
Well, I'm going to say like it depends on just like the spot. Maybe you find the perfect spot in 20 minutes.
That's true. That's true too. That is very true. It depends on like how we go, right? Like if it's like just us, like we're a lot more flexible. If we bring the girls, then
they're not backcountry camping. So
like we hike 20 minutes and they could.
It's not backcountry camping.
But that's what I'm saying. We hike 20 minutes in.
Nope.
Even though we could drive somewhere. That's crazy.
Just letting you know.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. It is very different for girls in general, but I feel like you could do it.
Nope.
All right, fair enough.
I know Elizabeth.
That's fair. No. Well, we are going, so at some point.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been
two campings and beers.
The shoots.
This has been.
I wouldn't take these beers camping if I were you.
No, I wouldn't either.
But I would check out our pint series because that's popping.
We did recently have some fresh hop celebration ale on the podcast that I would take camping.
True.
Watch that episode if you'd like to watch a good beer for camping.
Fact. Other than that, see you next time.
Bye.